For me, as for Imec as a whole, I mean, it's continuing to push the small nudges, the Got Your Back campaign, asking people around it, nudging people. Did you take those trainings? And making sure that those small nudges continue to happen. That's for Imec as a whole. For me personally, I'm really invested, and you know this, about neurodiversity. I think it's a much broader concept in which a lot of the diversity angles actually fit in. Introvert versus extrovert. The culture that you're in means you have a certain way, the language you speak makes you think in certain ways. That all influences neurodiversity, apart from even discussions on where you are on certain spectra. It's perhaps a cliche, but most cliches have some truth in it, that the technical environments brings out, and it has certain people that gravitate towards it, that sometimes have a different communication style, and because of their neurodiversity. And that means they actually can go very deep and very focused on certain topics, but sometimes are less good at communicating the results. And vice versa, you have some people here that are very open and extrovert and visionary, but then don't connect really with those very deep people. I think if we could actually bank on that neurodiversity as Imec, I think that would really, well, bring us to the next level.
And I think for me personally, again, I already said I'm very invested also in the data, the statistics, the surveys. So I think holding on to this endeavor and to our targets, KPIs, because we're in this for the long haul, but also extending those, because indeed we now only have one on gender, but we should have on much more of these diversity characteristics. I think, yeah. And we also have, by the way, a target on inclusion, which we haven't met just yet, where we don't want to see any differences between people from different backgrounds and characteristics in how inclusive they feel Imec is, and we still have some differences there, so we still have work to do there.
And that target is measured by the yearly pulse survey, right?
The pulse surveys, which are even quarterly and are biannually full corporate survey as well. That's right. So, but we don't have it yet in our balance scorecard. We don't have other characteristics yet in our balance scorecard. So I think there's still work to do there, and holding on to the ones that we have in our balance scorecard and making sure that we realize them, of course. And then I think also hack your bias. Well, it is about being aware of that we all have bias in our thinking. But the next step of truly hacking it in every process, in every meeting, in every encounter you're having, in everything you're doing here within Imec, that is very important, but also difficult, because it means you constantly need to be aware of this and having that conversation, not just having the conversation on the topic you're working on, but also having this meta conversation about what have we been doing here? Was everybody equally involved? Was there some bias in our thinking at any point, and what can we do next time to do it better?
Yeah, and making sure that the percentage of people that actually take the training also continues to grow, because I mean we have a constant inflow of a very new and diverse workforce. I think about 300 or so per year. That also means they need to understand how we think about bias as well.
Yeah, it's a story that needs to continue. It cannot end.